Funding for this video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Hello. What's up, punks? And welcome to the video. So you're back on this here YouTube channel. Happy to see ya. If you're fresh meat, hi, my name is Allie. Around these parts, we balance daily life alongside disability, celebrate mundanity, and read a whole lot of books. And so what this vlog is simply still getting back on our feet after a burnout. We've got some strength back. Things are looking up Millhouse. And we are also finishing up our BLOOMIN Read-A-THON, which is the read-a-thon that I host here every year in November on this channel. I cannot believe November is over. I cannot believe that the read-a-thon happened for its third year in a row. That is so cute. Thank you to everyone who read along with me. Spoiler alert, at the beginning of this vlog, we do have some migraines and we don't read so much, but then at the end, we really pick up the pace. So don't worry. There's not that much housekeeping to cover. So why waste any more time? Let's just dive right into the video, shall we? Let's get vlogging. Let's get reading. Let's survive and thrive together as friends. Does that sound good? Take it away past me. Hello, good morning. I had a migraine yesterday. Pretty bad, but not nightmarish. It's starting to go away. It's been many hours. It's like 9 in the morning now. So we're still a little sore. We've got the tension up the neck, the works, baby. But as we talked about in our last vlog, I recently got migraine shot. It basically like covers the enzymes in your brain that kickstart migraines. And they've been working quite well. And I'm extra excited because I get to give myself my next dose in like 3 days. So I think that that's what this is the last dose wearing off. And I am now vulnerable to the crimes the inside of my body wants to commit to itself. So to relax and just feel good on this rainy day, I am designing our bookmarks for our book club and I am catching up on BLOOMIN videos. I watched so many this morning. I'm trying to watch them all. But everyone's so cute and everyone's so nice and everyone has impeccable reading taste. So it's been a solid morning. I might make some tea. Ooh, that's what we're gonna do to wrap up this already near flawless activity. Houston, we have a problem. I went to make a tea. I thought that'd be nice. That'd be great. Completely forgot that I have not touched my coffee. I have a complete full mug of coffee here that was sitting over there. Maybe we can roll the clip. Maybe you can see. Maybe my body's in the way the whole time. I don't know. But I put that there because I thought that I could sit there and read, but then I thought, nah, my head hurts way too much. I'm just gonna do something that doesn't require brain function. Like designing an art, it's more of a feeling, you know? Enjoying friends on the internet.com, that's a feeling. Taking words and memorizing facts or creating a world in your head, too much not feeling, too much brain function. Do not have to spare. And then I went to make a tea and now I have 2 warm beverages and now it's a race against the clock. This is why I've barely been reading or barely been doing anything. The health has not been healthing. The brain has not been braining. Anyway, it's only a little gross after sitting out for a couple hours. Hello! It is a very dark, rainy day today, as it always is, honestly. I haven't turned these on in a while. I forget that these turn on. Ding. For the BLOOMIN Read-A-THON, I am currently reading our book club book where they burn books, they also burn people, and the second book in the BLOOMIN series by Tove Jansson. I'm gonna count this one for the snail's face because it is a slow burn and it's also ginormous, almost 500 pages. And I'm gonna count this one as the Earth Space, I'm pretty sure, for a book that was published before 1990. I believe this is from the 40s. I am struggling a little bit with our book club book. It isn't playing the movie in my head and it's a little confusingly written. We're bouncing from different perspectives and different time time periods, but also sometimes in the same chapter. And so I really gotta put my thinking cap on. There are some very interesting parallels, but I'm taking a lot of notes. This is definitely like giving book that you read for school. And if I'm gonna be reading a book that has that I'm in school energy, I love reading it with y'all because then we can discuss it together, you know? So I hope that we can make sense of this one together. BLOOMINRAT, for some reason, I just haven't picked up. I don't know why. I could finish this in one sitting, easy peasy. That's what we're reading currently. However, today is a very, very important day because it's migraine shot day. I suffer from very persistent, very serious chronic migraines that specifically hinder my vision, motor function, things like that. They often fall into the hemiplegic migraine characterization, meaning migraines that mimic strokes. They don't all do that, but quite a few do. I've never done this myself. I'm a little nervous, but I know that it wasn't a big deal last time. But I'm really excited because I've had migraines for the past like 4 days. Let's do it together. If you have medicine to take as well, for anything at all, we could take it together as friends now. Does that sound nice? We're not alone. Okay, let's do it. I'm nervous. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, do it. And it's fine, and it's fine, and it's fine, and it's fine, and it's fine. Woo! It's a few hours later and we are sitting in the dark because I'm getting a migraine. Ironically enough, I'm really sad. I had class today. We'll see how bad it gets. I have the aura now, so I can't see very well. What I'm really trying to do when I get migraines is be kind to myself because it's very easy for me to either like wallow or spiral into this nice little self-hatred zone. So I think what I might do is treat myself to a cozy game on Switch. The Discord has been popping off with the best cozy game recommendations. I know screens are bad when you have a migraine, but when nothing helps, not much can make it worse either. I also am gonna make sure I eat something. Take it 1 minute at a time. Does that sound good? Good, because we don't have much of a choice. Let us rest.
I used to be bad, but now I'm old, and I just feel bad all the time. I mostly feel bad that I used to be bad. It's embarrassing that I can't be better while being good.
Hello. I laid in bed in the dark for a long time, and while I was doing that, I spilled an entire liter of water all over my bed. So I had to throw my comforter in the dryer and do some kind of DIY hair dryer bed drying situation. Albus was a little frightened, but he was also super into it because it made his butt warm. Can't blame him. And so after today's unfortunate events, I decided that it was time to get a cute like 15-euro cozy game and vegan sushi. And now I'm watching Bee and Puppy Cat in bed and everything's gonna be fine. The migraine went up to like a 5 or a 6. Now she's at like a 3 or a 4. Perhaps being kind to ourselves is not going to solve anything, but it sure is gonna make the suffering a whole lot better, right? And that's been my day. It wasn't very exciting. Didn't get to do a lot of the things I wanted to do, but I got some work in, I got some play in, I got some healing in. Bye. So this morning, woke up in a lot of pain, but it was more so like neck pain from all the that you do when you have a migraine, you know, when you're in so much pain that all your muscles like do this, and then you wake up the next day and it feels like you went to the gym. So I again just tried to make the best of it. I turned on my cute little lights, I played my cute little game, I made a cute little mug of tea, that type of thing. And now we're feeling a little bit better. The hot shower definitely helped. I'm still unsure if I can make it to class today because it's 3.5 hours in Dutch, and I don't know if that part of my brain is functioning. Translating is exhausting. As far as reading is concerned, once again, we haven't been doing doing it. When the health isn't helping, sometimes you can't do all the things that you want to do. But we're still having a pretty good time. As long as I can read over the next few days, I don't have any doubts that I can finish. I'm not concerned about it. It's gonna happen. What I would also love to read is Please Do Not Touch This Exhibit by Jen Campbell, who's a fellow booktuber and also an author. Her publishing house reached out to me, BLOOMINRAT Books, and asked if they could send me her book, and I was like, oh my god, I watched Jen. I've bought a few books as per her recommendation. She has a video called Read These Books If You Love Black Mirror, and I bought a few books off of that list. She's got a lot of great, unique reading racks if you're sick of seeing the same old stuff. But she's got this lovely little short poetry collection that explores disability, storytelling, and the process of mythologizing trauma. This sounds like everything I need right now, like truly. So I'm gonna throw this into the mix, to be honest. I can read poems here and there. And thank you BLOOMINRAT Books for this book. So that's that. We played some games, we did some work. We're gonna do some class prep, maybe go to class, hopefully read some more, hopefully play some more. Let's do this day. Cheers. What's up, gamers? It's been a few days. Hello? Story time. We have a blind cat. His name is Elvis. He's from the streets, TM, and therefore he has night terrors. Very relatable stuff. And when he has these nightmares in his sleep, he will push away from whatever is in his dream. He flings, he flies. I have no idea how he has that much strength in his potato body toothpick legs, but we don't ask questions, we just accept the gifts that God gives us. His nightmares have just been getting worse. Lately, we will be sleeping, he will have a nightmare from Lawrence's leg, flings across my body and lands on the floor next to me, across the bed. And so then when this happens, I obviously scoop him up and I give him a big cuddle because he's scared and I love him. And now he will have a second nightmare shortly thereafter. The thing in his nightmare that he pushes away from becomes my face. So, most recently, he scratched through my mouth just a couple days ago, and it was bad. It was really, really quite bad. Not as bad as when he sliced through my eyelid. Don't want to talk about it. He's medicated. We're probably gonna have to switch that up and get something better, obviously, because it's dangerous for him, it's dangerous for us. The point is that this was so painful and deep in my mouth. It hurt to talk, it hurt to smile, it hurt to exist. So we took a couple of days off of vlogging, but I have been reading. We will do a reading check-in, I think, after I shower. Right now, I just want to celebrate the fact that I went to the gym for the first time in a hot minute. This is not Albus. This is Rumi. It's also hard to have motivation to go to the gym when all I can do is like incline walking on a treadmill. It's boring. I mean, it's nice to watch your little YouTube videos. It's good to get your heart rate up, but I like strength training. I'm sorry, am I just supposed to see this TikTok and not want to work out my arms? Like, case closed. Also, don't get it twisted. I don't have the TikTok app. I don't have any of the apps on my phone. I deleted them all in like February of this year. But I will sometimes, like a little old lady, type into my Safari browser TikTok.com to keep up with what my friends send me, and occasionally search a Muna thirst edit or two. I'm just a girl in the world. Okay, bye. Hello. We have some books to discuss because some reading was done this weekend, excitingly enough. First things first, I finished our Pocket Pages book club book, Where They Burn Books, They Also Burn People, by Marcos Antonio Hernandez. Now, this book is almost 500 pages and it's not the most readable, in my opinion. It's not the most accessible. I think it was a little overwritten. It could have benefited greatly from some serious editing, in my opinion. A lot of telling and not showing, which if you're not new here, you know that that's like one of my biggest pet peeves in books. I want to be able to come to conclusions myself. I don't just want to be told what the relationships are between people. I want to be shown what the relationships are between people. There were some very creative parallels in here, and I also thought it was an interesting choice to make our protagonists not the good guys. I think what this book did really well was show the psychological gymnastics that colonizers partake in order to justify their actions. And it was also very unsettling to read how they truly believe that they're doing the right thing, that they're helping the people that they're attacking and torturing. There were some things that were good here. We'll see how people feel. So for this one, I'm going to count it as the snail space. I also read Jen Campbell's poetry collection this weekend that was sent to me by her publishing house. Thank you so much, BLOOMINRAT Books. She's very teeny tiny and packs quite a punch. I love when stories or just readable things are not only very unique and different from your own experience, so you can learn more about the various things that human beings can endure, but also are so relatable at the same time. And I think this one did a great job of balancing those two things, because the disabilities that Jen and I face, extremely different, but the experience of being hospitalized, feeling othered, and the dehumanization that you endure when being faced with doctors who have a very clinical approach is extremely relatable. My jaw actually dropped and I had to stop and tell Lawrence about her experience with trying to receive IVF treatment. I'm so mad at this doctor, I want to throw hands. I'm gonna count this for our Lotus space, which is our disability space on the BLOOMIN bingo board. And recently I ordered 2 books because for my 2024, I'm really just trying to do less. I'm trying to learn how to do less, because even in my Spirit Tea game, my cute little 8-bit game that I'm showing you, I'm overworking my little guy. I'm making him work 12, 13, 14-hour days to the point where my character is literally passing out from exhaustion. I'm applying my hustle culture, overworked, American-ass perspective onto this poor little 8-bit rendition of Caillou. And I just have so much unpacking that I need to do that I've been trying to unpack since I started recognizing that I have disabilities, since I learned I was autistic, yada yada yada. But I also think that even if you're a fully able-bodied, healthy person, I think we should all be doing a little bit less. I think that the expectations that are put on us out there is just too much. The point is, in 2024, I just want to do soft, sweet, mindful things more. I want to do more crafting. I want to do more nothing. I want to play more video games. Like, I just want to be a human more and a working machine less. And then hopefully, consequentially, I will be a suffering human less. And that's on math. So I ordered these 2 books. We've got The Self-Care Year, Reflect and Recharge with Simple Seasonal Rituals, and also Slow Seasons, A Creative Guide to Reconnecting with Nature the Celtic Way. Because the thing is, with chronic pain and chronic illness, I am floating through time and space. Holidays and seasons and everything, they just pass me by. I'm hoping that if I'm able to implement slower, simpler habits, that'll be more in tune with the world, with the earth. Am I making sense? I technically read this weekend. I technically read The Self-Care Year. It's so beginner and surface level. I love it. Like, if you are intimidated by being told what to do, or if big tasks and change is very overwhelming, this is such a lovely intro, in my opinion. It just breaks down the 4 seasons. Each season has some sense ascribed to it, or a yoga pose, how you can change up your bedtime routine to fit the seasons. Like, it's so simple. So I did technically read this. I'm gonna put this as the tulip space, which is a space for non-romantic love, because this is self-love, baby. This is self-care. This is loving me. Friendly reminder that you could do what you want with the bingo board, if I haven't said that ad nauseum enough. Slow Seasons I haven't read, but I did skim through and I put little tabs. And this one more so has recipes and crafts that you can do for the season, which is so cute. That's where we're at. I'm gonna cut out our little stickers and I'm gonna give myself points for the tulip space, the snail space, and the lotus space. Wonderful, great reading update job, everybody. We have to pick what to read next. I think it would be nice to pick up a fiction novel, a graphic novel, and a nonfiction. The novel, I think, is sitting in my mailbox right now because it's a pre-order that I placed in like January of this year, and it's finally here, finally published, finally at my front door. Mail time. Go.
Mail time.
Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here. Come on. Bye, guys. Here's the mail. It never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail.
Did I just reopen my cat scratches? A little bit. Was it worth it? Maybe. We are sitting in front of the TBR shelf, which is such a mess. I really need to do a complete reorganization of all of my bookshelves, which I plan on doing for a video in like January. So we'll do it soon. I'm out of breath from getting the mail. But here we have Bookshops and Bonedust, which is the prequel to Legends and Lattes. Did I order this edition from the United States so that I could have the matching covers, because these are the EU covers, which are lovely. It's just not what I have for Legends and Lattes, and I wanted them to go together. Is one of them matte and one of them shiny? Yes. Is one of them weirdly 2 centimeters taller than the other one with an extremely different spine? Also, yes. We are going to pretend like this doesn't drive us bananas. It's fine. Everything's fine. If you haven't heard of Legends and Lattes, where the heck have you been? High fantasy, low stakes, turning a stinky stable into a cozy cafe. It was one of my top books of last year. I am no different from other girls. I'm exactly the same, and I'm glad for it. And so naturally I pre-ordered the prequel to it. So this follows Viv, our orc. Before all of this, she spends most of her time in a bookshop. So I think it's gonna still have the same energy, or lack thereof, which I'm very excited for. We're gonna start this immediately, of course, because what choice do we have? This is going to be our novel of choice. In a perfect perfect world, I like to read a fiction book, a non-fiction book, and maybe even a graphic novel in there just to spice things up. So for the graphic novel, I think I'm gonna read Hukumi and Mikochi, Tiny Life in the Woods 2. This is the second one. This is a cozy manga, and it kind of has an anthological feel. It kind of has pick up an episode of a cartoon and watch it and enjoy it kind of thing. Very low pressure. It's so cute. It's so comforting. I'm obsessed with this series, and I'm so glad that I have this one and one more on my shelf because I never want to stop reading them. And then for my nonfiction, I really think that I am just in a psychological kind of space in my heart and brain. So I picked up What My Bones Know by Stephanie Fu, which is a memoir slash educational book about complex post-traumatic stress disorder, CPTSD. I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, and I think reading it will be very healing. So these are the 3 books that we have on deck right now. I've got some work to do. I have some food I need to eat. I'm hungry. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna read, we're gonna draw for Patreon, we might edit a little bit, we got emails to answer. It's a day. We're gonna do this day. This has been a reading update. Bye! People. I have not been in the chattiest, most social moods, but I have been getting some reading done. So I thought we could do a quick reading check-in. Does that sound nice? We're down to the last final days of this readathon. I'm getting a bit over a cold, and I'm just in the mood to read, which is a great feeling because I haven't just been in a reading slump, I've just been in a slump in general. Like, we've just been slumping in all realms of life, and that's okay. Sometimes you gotta slump. But as we discussed earlier, I picked up Bookshops and Bonedust by Travis Baldree and almost read half of it in one sitting. It's so good. Only reason I didn't finish it in one sitting is because I had other responsibilities. But once we finish those, we're gonna dive right back in. I also just read the epilogue of What My Bones Know by Stephanie Fu, which is the nonfiction about complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And I already have 3 tabs and so much underlined. Like, this is already so good. I'm ready to have my world rocked. And by ready, I mean not even remotely prepared. Despite the fact that I read over 100 books this year, I've had a pretty flat reading year. Things have been pretty mid, and there's been a lot of DNFs, and only one book has made it to my favorite shelf. There are still a handful of books that popped off, and there will be an end of year, like, best books of 2023 video and everything, of course. But it's been one of my weakest reading years since getting back into reading. And so it feels really good to be reading 2 things that are just rocking my world. Feels good. It's what I need. I didn't even bring it in here with me, but we're also technically reading that BLOOMIN book I mentioned earlier. But I read the first chapter like 3 weeks ago and haven't picked it up since, and I don't know why. I'd like to hopefully finish that one by the end of this BLOOMIN readathon, but if not, that's fine. I also have 2 buddy reads that I need to get around to. I've been the worst buddy reader just because I haven't been the best reader, and so therefore the buddying has slacked as well. I need to be reading The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty, and also Before We Say Goodbye by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is the 4th book in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series, which is a series that I very much enjoy. It has an anthological feel, magical coffee shop, you know the biz. This is very unlike things I typically read. It's very adventurous. I'm not a big adventure action girly, but it's a pirate journey, and I've heard nothing but good things, and the cover is just phenomenal. So these are my 2 buddy reads, and I also have my cozy manga situation. This is the goal for the last week or so of this BLOOMIN readathon. I'm not feeling 100%, but in a way that kind of aids us, you know, because I don't have a lot of energy to do much other things. So reading in bed, sign me up 800 times, or at least 6 times. Also, I've been doing a lot of Patreon designing, which I want to show you because I'm really excited about some of the things. I have somewhere to be right now, so I have to go do that, and then I'll come back and I'll show you my art and we can read more. Does that sound good? Okay, great. Bye. Hi, we have read things. We have read things. Things have been read. First of all, Bookshops and Bonedust by Travis Baldree. Pretty good. I quite liked this one. It dragged a bit for me in the middle, but overall, I was tickled. It was soft. It was sweet. Like most things, the adventurous parts are my least favorite bits, but it's just because I'm not a big action girly. The ending, like the epilogue, where we kind of like bounce forward to the Legends and Lattes time, gave me chills. So exciting to revisit that. I really hope that there is a second one to Legends and Lattes. I'm not the biggest prequel fan either, which I think is my other just like personal weakness with this reading experience. When I like something, I want a sequel. I don't think there's ever been a time where I'm craving more of before the story began, but it was exciting to have like this world grow, you know? If we do get a sequel, now we have all these other characters that we can check in on, and that'll be nice and good. That being said, I do think that the characters were a little flatter than Legends and Lattes. For me, Legends and Lattes just flew off the page from start to finish, and this one I got a little bit lost. It stopped playing the movie in my head for a bit, and I actually got a little confused as to what we were doing and why for brief moments here and there. But still just had a great time. Like, this is just my kind of book, my kind of genre. Like, I'm just happy to be here. Even if I have some complaints, I'm not gonna walk away from the book like, I didn't like it. It's not gonna happen, you know? This is what I'm here for. So I'm gonna count this as the B space because this is such a buzzy book. Then I think what I'm gonna do, so that I can get a bingo, because I'm only missing the two corners, I'm gonna count What My Bones Know, which is the memoir about complex post-traumatic stress disorder, as the mole space, because I'm sorry, is trauma not a strong antagonist in all of our lives? So that's how I can loophole that to benefit me and my bingo board. There are maybe like 40 pages left of this book. It is so readable. Look at all those tabs. I'm learning so much. I'm relating to so much. I'm really getting a kick out of this. So, like I said before, stoked to have books that don't feel like a chore to read. I'm gonna go make some shepherd's pie, some vegan shepherd's pie. I've never even had shepherd's pie non-vegan, so I have no idea what to expect. Let's do that. Cool. Bye. Hello. Oh, I'm so glad I wasn't holding my coffee. That has happened before. Anyway, it's grout fit hours, baby. We are down to the final days of the BLOOMIN READ.A.THON, aka the final days of November. And so I really just want to spend today reading. That's all I want to do, which is a good feeling because I have been in such a reading slump, and I'm finally like, ooh, I want to get these books done before the month is over. My sleeping has been pretty rotten. I've been waking up at like midnight or not falling asleep until forever. So that's also kind of been helping our reading situation, but we have our final few pages of What My Bones Know. I read like the first page of The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. This is the book that I don't have the most confidence in that I'll be able to finish before November is over, because she's almost like 500 pages and she's really tall. Like, look at how much bigger she is than your typical book. But I would really like to make some progress in it. Also our Magical Cafe book before we say goodbye, and also our cozy manga, which I haven't started yet either, but these are short, low stakes. I'm really in a reading mood. I'm cozy. There's some natural lighting outside. It's not pouring rain like it's been for the past 800 years. I do have my coffee. Do I trust myself with it? Not so much, but my friend Michelle made this mug. Isn't it so cute? It's my favorite mug now in my whole house. Also, I've been making some serious Patreon design progress. I asked my friend what the design should be for January, and she said pink background tomatoes. So this is a rough sketch of what we can be expecting for January. But I finished December. I was really inspired by those black sheets that you would get back in the 90s, early 2000s that you would scratch with a toothpick, and then there would be this rainbow underneath. We've got this fun firework pattern that I think looks really cool under the calendar. calendar. So that's what we've got for December. As far as bookmarks are concerned, I'm not as excited about A Man Called Ova. I'm really excited to read it, but I think I was actually just being too hard on myself. This is fine. We've got a lovely little quote on there for our December read. I put some paw prints because there's a cat on the cover. This is the problem with not having read the books before doing the designs, because there's a lot that I don't know about the story, and all I can really work with is what is on the cover. And this book gives me almost nothing. However, Trust of the Emerald Sea, which is our first book for January, oh my gosh, so wild that this year is already over and we already know what we're reading for January, February, and March of next year. But the Trust of the Emerald Sea bookmark is so exciting. I was inspired by the end and cover pages. They look like this inside of the hardcover book, and then I've got a lovely little quote. It's not really a problem that someone needs to be saved. Everyone needs help. I'm really psyched about this one. I think it's really cute. So we're getting a lot done despite having a few sick days earlier this week. Feels good. Today is reading day. So I'm gonna finish up What My Bones Know by Stephanie Fu now. Memoir about trauma. I actually have footage of Lawrence and I making lasagna from a couple of months ago that never made it into a vlog. So while I dive into reading, would you like to see how I make my lasagna? You can go ahead and hang out with Allie and Lawrence from the past while I get some reading done. Does that sound nice? Bye! Oh hi, welcome back to the kitchen, and especially welcome back to Cooking with Allie. Do you have your pen and paper out? Because this is not a blog post, this is video. We are making lasagna. So what we've already done is cut our eggplants into thin slices and salted them up so a lot of the moisture can come out of them. We're gonna let those sit for a bit, and now we've started our roux. This is the hardest part of the whole recipe. If you don't like verbal instructions, Google how to make vegan roux. Or if you're not vegan, sans the word vegan. I melt some butter in a pan, and again, measure with this. Measure with this. After it's melted, you put some flour in there, so then it kind of looks like a cookie dough texture of sorts. While you do this, you are going to want to remove your butter from the heat so it doesn't burn. Melt butter, remove from heat, add flour. Put your roux back on the heat, low heat, mind you, to let the butter melt a little bit. Then slowly, very slowly, because you don't want to make little dough balls, start to incorporate your milk, mix, mix, mix until it's all an even consistency. Add more milk, mix, mix, mix. This process takes a little bit. Trust the process, trust yourself. Don't judge yourself for your stovetop being dirty. That means you use it. Good for you. Cooking for yourself. It's just gonna start looking creamier and creamier. The creamier it gets, the more confident you can get in adding more milk. Mix, 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 mix. We are getting there. It's okay if it's a little too liquidy, because again, it's on the heat. It'll probably thicken up a little bit as you go. You're gonna have to add milk here and there as you go. At this point, I like to add a bay leaf or two. I'm gonna add 2 because they're a little small. Bloop. I'm making quite a bit of roux, so I'm gonna add 2 veggie bouillon cubes for saltiness, and this would basically be like your veggie stock, which is usually a key component of a roux, but I just raw dogged the veggie cubes. Hey Lawrence, can you come pat my eggplants dry? Thanks. Next crucial step, back into your husband to pat your eggplants dry.
Okay.
What would be really nice for this roux is some minced garlic, but that's gonna hurt my tummy. And or nutritional yeast. That's also going to hurt my tummy. So unfortunately I have to take the expensive route and just put straight up cheese in it. I would recommend this German brand or Violife. I'm gonna put some smoked paprika in mine just to get a little fancy. A little bit of pepper, just a little bit. This expired in 2021.
Okay, then why are you using it? That's not an answer, but okay. I will fart on you.
Then just basically season to taste. You want more pepper? Add more pepper. You want more salt? Add more salt. Oh my god. No! We have no lemons! That's what really pulls this together! No!
Oh well.
No. Half of a lemon? The juice would make this sublime. Unfortunately, we don't have that. We do have white vinegar, which will at least give it an acid, which you kind of need. I'm gonna put 2 capfuls in there and see what that does. We're kind of going rogue.
This is one.
Has a lot of vinegar on my thumb. Taste test. I mean, I guess the job done. I've almost used this entire thing of milk. She will just keep thickening. Don't panic. Oh yeah, you're gonna want to bake your eggplant. I think I said that. Bake your eggplant before you put it in your lasagna. Don't put it in raw. It's gonna make your lasagna wet and weird, and your eggplant's never gonna cook all the way through. It's gonna be rubbery and gross, and you're gonna regret it, and you're not gonna want to eat it. So cut, salt, dry, oil. You should do multiple rounds, but I'm too impatient, so we're stacking them with some oil, and now we're just gonna cook them until they're squishy. Until they're squishy.
Squishy.
I'm using canned lentil that we rinse in a strainer. Pretend that it's ground beef. Get more protein and vitamins, baby. Squishy. Sing to me, Paolo. Squishy.
Squishy.
Then you're just gonna layer your lasagna as you wish. I recommend putting the stuff, TM, in the middle, like the eggplants and the lentils. Make sure you got a lot of noodle layers to hold your base. Make sure there's lots of moisture. I think we're using 4 red sauces. Just trial and error, baby. And if this recipe is not clear enough, I guarantee you there are 800 other lasagna recipes online that do the exact same thing. So listen to your heart, try things out, make it happen. Bye. Hello. Did you have so much fun learning how to make lasagna? I hope so. In the 30 or so minutes I just took to finish the last 50 pages of this book, it started raining. I literally just got done saying, oh, it's finally not raining. But if you can't tell from all the tabs, I really liked this book. Actually, sometimes a bunch of tabs also means that I needed to put in so much work to try and follow a book. Like our last book club book that we read in this vlog even. So much time has passed. There were a lot of tabs in that, but that was just because I couldn't follow it for the life of me. But I promise you, this one has a lot of tabs because I very much enjoyed it. I thought that this one was so balanced with personal experiences as well as great research and facts and other sources. I'm only a little discouraged because the thing that helped her the most was this extremely inaccessible therapy that she was given for free because she has connections. It would have been like $6,500 worth of therapy in like 3 months. But I liked that she shared the wisdom. Like I really liked her therapist at the end, and I really liked how honest she was and how vulnerable she was and how many things she tried. I pocketed a lot of this wisdom. Like I just thought that this was damn good. I really, really liked it. So one more book down. Now that we finished this, we officially have a bingo on our bingo board less than 48 hours before the Bloomin' Readathon ends. So great job. I'm feeling great. I still haven't put my points on. Maybe we should go do that before we dive into more reading just to feel something.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
That's not... Oh, there was a chapter about a dog. Ow. Reading update time. I finished Before We Say Goodbye by Toshikazu Kawaguchi, translated by Jeffrey Truselot. The characters in this one for me were a little flatter than the other ones, except for chapter 2, of course. There's only 4. This book is under 200 pages. It's such a quick read. Because of the characters and their stories being a little less powerful than previous books, I do believe that the weaker elements of Kawaguchi's writing style shone a little brighter. They were a bit more obvious to me. The biggest complaint that I hear is that it's really repetitive, and I really noticed that in this one. The rules of the cafe are very consistently retold to you, but aside from that, like, I still just have a good time. Like, I still just like the concept of these books, and I am always just like buckled in for the ride, you know? I always am just curious to see how it ends up. Each chapter always has a line that like stabs me right in the heart, and so even if I leave a chapter not feeling like it's a new favorite, I still feel like I get something from each story. And especially because it's shorter, you know, it's a book that respects my time, and that's just such a strength when it comes to shorter books, in my opinion. I'm braiding my hair because I'm going to go to the gym. We've been sitting and reading literally all day from about 9 a.m. to now, and it's almost 4, so it's time to move our bodies a little bit. I also started Hakumi Makochi Tiny Life in the Woods Part 2. Read a couple of the stories. Anthological feel, nourishing friendships, beautiful forestry, cute concepts. They traded some food to an owl and used blueberries to dye clothes to sew for a friend. Like, you can't not have a nourishing time here. here. It's impossible. The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi is definitely a little out of my comfort zone. Like we've said, I'm more of a cozy reader, less of an adventurous reader. However, I will give this high praise so far. I mean, I'm not that far into it, but the stakes are very clearly laid out and we don't seem to be fluffing about too much, which is a huge complaint that I have for this genre. I'm about 70 pages in. We're on chapter 5. There's a little bit of intrigue. Everything seems fine enough. Our protagonist is a little bit older, which is also a huge plus. I like it when characters fall into different age demographics. And she's taking up one last adventure. And where I'm at right now, she's like gathering the troops. We're getting the band back together, kind of thing. Also, remember her? We're still one chapter into Comet and Moominland by Tove Jansson. I love Moomins. I have no idea why I haven't picked this book up. It's not that I don't want to, I just like keep forgetting. So we'll see. There's still some time when I get back from the gym. There's still tomorrow, but I'm not gonna pressure myself too hard because it doesn't matter if you don't finish all the books you want to read. You know, there's more time to read more books. It's gonna be fine. For now, I'm gonna go do my little incline walking and listen to the new Chaotic episode. The band Muna has a podcast and they interview Julian Baker. I literally just mentioned both Julian Baker and Muna a couple days ago in this very same video, but I'm not ashamed. So it's time to get our heart rate up, move our silly little bodies for the benefit of our mental health. Great, bye. Hello again. It is the end of November 30th for me. I don't think I'm going to finish any more books for this readathon. I did finish Comet and Moominland by Tove Jansson just this morning. Such a twist because I've had this book open for the past month and finally saw it through to the end. The Moomins are just so cute. It's so low stakes. When I read this, I feel like my mom is reading me a bedtime story, except for I am mom to myself. This one was definitely a little bit more stressful. Like there's a comet coming for them the whole time and they're like, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more books in this series. So spoiler alert, they didn't all die, you know? I am still technically reading Hakumi and Makochi and The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. I'm really hoping to finish these at least by our next reading review, which is going to be our last reading review of the year, which is wild. This is our last vlog of the year. I don't want to think about it. Time is so strange. I'm going to give myself a point for the moon space before we say goodbye, and I'm going to give myself a point for the earth space for Comet and Moominland because this was published in the 40s. And this is what our bingo board looks like now with no overlaps. I didn't double up on spaces this year. Oh, my camera died. Hello? My other camera died, but I just wanted to do one final check-in with y'all. Did you do BLOOMIN this year? Did you get a bingo? How did you tally up your points? I most importantly would love to know what your favorite finds were this November because a new reading year is ahead of us. So my TBR is never not growing thanks to y'all. Love talking books with everybody. Love getting an endless stream of book recommendations in the comments down below. So feel free to share any and all thoughts about your past November reading with me in the community. Oh, I can't believe it's over. I love BLOOMIN. My favorite books of BLOOMIN were definitely Minor Detail by Adanya Shibli and Before We Say Goodbye by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. These are both very well written. These both punched me in the emotions. However, tippity top, cream of the crop for me were What My Bones Know by Stephanie Fu, a memoir of healing from complex trauma, and also the Lightfall graphic novel. But a pretty great reading month overall. So please share your favorites with me as well. The current plan is 2 Sundays from now we will discuss everything that was read in fall. So I think September, October, and November. A little bit into December as well. And then at the very end, we will discuss the top books of 2023. I've read over 120 so far. Wow, what a year it has been. I'm really looking forward to a better 2024, a healthier 2024, a less pained 2024. Manifesting. Thank you so much for reading with me. Thank you so much for blooming with me. Thank you so much for supporting this cozy corner of the internet. Everyone on patreon.com. Zeus bless. Even if you're just watching, giving videos likes. If you're subscribed, it all counts and it's all amazing and it all means so much to me. So just thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're having a wonderful December. You're so close to this year being over. So if you have anything that you want to leave behind from 2023, you're nearly there. Goodness gracious. And as always, thank you for clicking, thank you for caring, and thank you for being nice. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!